Welcome back, viewers. You're watching The Savera and I'm Shefali. The death toll from ongoing violence in Syria's southern Sweida province has climbed to nearly 600 as fierce clashes and Israeli airstrikes continue to destabilize the region. According to Syrian state media and independent war monitors, the situation remains volatile, with mounting civilian casualties, mass displacement, and growing fears of a full-scale humanitarian disaster. On Thursday, Syria's official news agency, SANA, reported that an Israeli warplane launched an airstrike targeting areas near Sweden city. This follows a series of Israeli attacks the previous day on military and symbolic government sites in Damascus. While no immediate casualties were reported from the latest strike, the bombardment has further escalated tensions in an already fragile region. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that at least 597 people have been killed since July 13, when intense fighting broke out between local Druze armed groups and Syria government forces. The clashes erupted after members of a Bedouin tribe allegedly assaulted and robbed a young Druze man near Al-Malia, a town located along the Damascus-Sweida highway. The incident triggered retaliatory kidnappings and quickly escalated into widespread violence involving Druze militant, Bedouin fighters, and government troops. The observatory also warned of an unfolding humanitarian crisis, as families, particularly from Arab Bedouin communities, flee Sweida province, and reports of sectarian violence, blockades, and respiratory attacks. Local sources have described like conditions as siege-like, with limited access of food, medicine, and safe shelter. In an official statement released Thursday night, Syria's interim authorities confirmed that the government forces have withdrawn from Sweida in response to mediation efforts led by the United States and Arab partners. However, the statement accused local armed factions of violating the ceasefire agreement and committing what is called horrific crimes against civilians. It described these actions as a grave threat to civil peace and warned that they could push the country further toward chaos and a broader security collapse. Although the interim government did not provide specific details about the alleged violations, the accusations come shortly after the Syrian Observatory reported incidents of summary execution and sectarian killings, particularly targeting members of Bedouin tribes. Now, these reports have not been independently verified, but they have added to the sense of urgency and alarm on the ground. Despite the ceasefire technically going into effect early Thursday, following Israel's airstrike on Sweida and Damascus earlier in the week, the situation remains highly unstable. Local leaders and international observers have expressed concern that the ceasefire could collapse at any moment amid ongoing violence and mass displacement. Adding to the complexity of the conflict, armed tribal groups from Deir el-Zor and northern Syria, as well as pro-government militants from Idlib, are reportedly mobilizing to support the Bedouin population in Sweida. Now, this influx of fighters risks turning what began as a localized conflict into a wider sectoral confrontation. The Israeli government has defended its military actions, stating that its airstrikes were intended to prevent further harm to the Druze military. However, the strikes have drawn international condemnation and have been viewed by many as added destabilizing force as an already violent situation. As conditions in southern Syria deteriorate, calls are growing for international engagement to help de-escalate the violence, protect civilians, and prevent further humanitarian sufferings. That's all for now in this update. Stay tuned to The Savera, download the app, and follow us on various social media platforms.